Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I wanted to give you guys a guide on Nethershards. The best ways to farm them, the most efficient ways to spend them, and everything else in between. Now, I feel like Nethershards have a very unique position in the game right now to where no matter what you're doing in the game, they're going to be useful for you. So, if you're a Mythic Raider, they can help you get that elusive World Boss Trinket that's got a lot of secondary stats, the Unstable Arcano Crystal, it can help you get one of those. And also, if you're a casual player and you've never even been in a raid, it can help you actually get your tier set. So, I want to show you guys the best ways to set yourself up to get that stuff, but before I talk about how to buy things, I want to talk about how to actually get the currency to be able to buy them, the nether shards. So there's a number of different ways to farm these, and one thing that I would really warn you guys against, if you're looking for farming methods for these, don't look at anything that's less than more than maybe 2 days old, because they've changed the farming methods I think 3 or 4 different times to where the guide that I put out on the first day doesn't work at all now. And at this point in time, the best place to farm nether shards is under the Syntonax. Now, if you don't know what the Syntonax is, it's the if you just go over the broken shore, open your map, and you're going to see a spaceship doing circles around to the broken shore. That's the Syntonax. So what you want to do is you want to go under the Syntonax and you want to use these portals. Usually you can just join somebody else's group that's using portals. It's not a big deal. And so as soon as you go over there and you start using the portals and you start killing the mobs over there, they're going to drop a lot of nether shards. And if you have a very efficient farming group, you can get over 5,000 nether shards an hour. I think I was doing this on my stream today and I got over 7,000 an hour. So it's extremely efficient and extremely lucrative, because obviously if you're doing that, all you have to do is spend 3 hours and you get 4 of the relinquish tokens. So it's a very, very time efficient thing to do. And I would recommend basically anybody to do this no matter what they're doing in the game. If they're Mythic Raider, casual, anything, you need to be under the Syntonax farming these nether shards. So basically you just go in there and you're going to get a number of different portals. There's the green portals, there's the blue portals, there's the epic portals. Now the green portals, just either they summon a new portal, obviously, or they basically extend the duration on an existing portal. The blue ones do pretty much the same thing, but I think it's more severe, and I think also they summon the elites at the same time, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. Also, there are these different portals, or these different things you can call down, and it summons for your party, because you want to do this in a group of 5 or less, and I don't know why you'd want to do it in a group of anything less than 5, but you want to do it in a group of 5, and the reason for that is basically because the mobs are only taggable by up to 5 people. So if you have 6 people in there, somebody isn't going to get credit, and it's just a complete pain in the ass, and everybody loses. So you want to do it with 5 people, and that also pretty much goes in the same direction as you don't want to try to compete with people for these mobs, because there's going to be a lot of groups, and you just want to try and pick out your own little area, farm in that area, don't try and steal other people's mobs, just do your own thing and don't worry about other people. That's my best advice. And also, if you've got a lot of competition, you can always try and jump over to somebody else's realm and see if it's any better over there. So basically you summon these portals, they summon ads, you kill the ads, and they give you nether shards, and you can get a ton of them. You don't want to use the epic portals, and the reason for that is because it summons a boss, basically. It has 400 million health, and it's the lieutenant, and after you kill the lieutenant, the Syntonax can't be used, the portals can't be used for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes might not seem like a lot, and of course you have idiots that use the portals, the epic portals all the time, and so don't be afraid to go over there and kill the lieutenant. They also give a lot of nether shards, but if you're very intent on actually farming and being efficient, you don't really want to go and kill the lieutenants. Also, you can get the smaller portals that they don't really summon any ads, but they summon little, bits of reagents that come down. So, one of them summons, Bloods of Sargeras, these, crystals, and there's, 4 of them, and everybody in the party can each click the crystals, and so that's, 4 Bloods of Sargeras if you loot those. So that's always really cool, and it's also another way that you can kind of help your friends out or whatever else. You can kind of stack them up with your guildies or whatever. I'm not really sure entirely what the ramifications of that are. So, long story short, you just go over to the Syntonax, join a group in a pre-made group finder, AoE down mobs until, I don't know, your brain melts, and then you're done. So let's assume that now you've got your 20,000 or whatever nether shards. Now, what you want to do at that point is you want to decide what your priorities are. Okay. So the first thing that I want to say is that whenever the Mage Tower is built, which is probably going to be in the next couple of days for the North American servers, every single time after the first time that you attempt getting your hidden artifact appearance, the challenge artifact appearance that you unlock through the Mage Tower, every single time past that costs Nethershards to retry the scenario. So what I'm trying to say is if you really want to get that artifact appearance, you want to save up all of your nether shards until it's actually until that's actually available, so you can spend all the nether shards that you need to actually be able to get that. So you don't want to waste your time, because the different buildings I think are only up for 3 days before the Legion destroys them again, and then you have to wait for the whole thing to reset itself. So you don't want to do that. So make sure that you save up as much nether shards as possible if that's what you're actually trying to do. Now, if you're actually just trying to get gear, you want to buy the relinquish tokens. Now, the Dauntless tokens cost a whole lot less, but they also start at item level 850, and the relinquish tokens start at item level 880. So you'd have to get lucky, basically. So let's just do some math here. So if they're 400 and what's it like? So it's 4,000. So you could buy 11 of them, right? So it's like 400 times 10. So it'd be 12, actually. It'd be 48. So you could buy 12 of the Dauntless tokens for one relinquish token, maybe a little bit, 12 and like a half, right? And I feel like the chances of you being able to Titan Forge an item above 30 item levels is probably less than 1 in 12. So I would say that you would be in a better position to just focus on buying the relinquish tokens. And also another reason for that is because the relinquish tokens can, I've heard that only the relinquish tokens can drop the world boss items, but I've also seen screenshots otherwise that prove otherwise. But I did hear that those screenshots were fake, so I can't really know. What I do know, however, is that the relinquish tokens can actually upgrade up to a legendary and turn into a legendary. I'm like 99% sure that Dauntless tokens cannot, or if they can, it's a super, super rare chance, and you're better off just trying and doing it with the relinquish tokens. So obviously, you want to decide what you want to spend your relinquish tokens on, because you can decide the piece of gear that you're working towards. So if you do want that unstable Arcana Crystal, you want to buy trinkets. And also, you want to make sure that if you are buying trinkets, that you do have as few items that are going to basically hold that slot for the trinket as possible. So if you already have Kil'Jaeden's Burning Wish, or for whatever reason, that's one less thing that you can possibly get for that trinket roll. And so if you're working towards a certain item, you want to make sure that you're buying as many items, the relinquish tokens, for that certain set and or the item slot. So I would recommend, if you're working towards the Arcana Crystal, buy as many trinkets as possible. Make sure that you're in DPS spec, and make sure that, like as an example, if you're, I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, so if you're a warrior, right, and you're trying to get the tier helm, and you already have the legendary Fury helmet, or you don't want it because you're arms, you want to set your loot specialization to arms, not Fury, because that takes the legendary helmet out of the possibilities of things that you could get. So it's basically more, I guess, like being more precision with what you're actually trying to roll towards, because every single one of these tokens has a random chance to identify to any of these items or none of them, and just be a baseline upgraded Dauntless item, pretty much. So that's what I would recommend for you guys to do in terms of buying them. Also, you can, of course, buy the currency item, not currency, the what is it? The bullshit things, right? The vanity items, right? So there's like a thing that, it's like a tabard, there's a thing that summons the Legion, I don't know, it's like an RP event, and there's a lot of things like that that you can buy as well. But I would recommend for anybody, especially until you get like exalted with the faction, focus entirely on picking out a slot and buying relinquish tokens for that slot, and making sure that you have as few items in that slot that are going to compete for being able to roll for that slot. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Those are the best ways I've come up with using these nether shards, and I feel like no matter what you're doing, they can be useful for you, regardless of what you like to do or what your goals are in the game. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got. Farm at the Centenax. Make sure that you buy them for the correct trinket or the item slot that you want. And besides that, guys, it's pretty much it. There's been a lot of confusion. A lot of people haven't really understood how to use these, so I wanted to make a guide and show you guys. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got. So, thank you very much for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.